How we doing, everybody? Matt Modi here with OddsJam, here to give you some player props to lock in for Thanksgiving football. So, books are starting to post their player props for the Thanksgiving games, which means that we can find some valuable plays to make. It's my favorite thing when books start posting lines because I immediately hop on OddsJam and I just try to find profitable betting opportunities to make, right? It's really, really nice. It's really convenient, really easy. All of these betting opportunities are on one screen. You can literally filter for the date. I wanted to filter for Thanksgiving. You can filter for the market. I wanted to bet player props. And guess what? Here we have it, some player props to lock in for Thanksgiving. So I'm going to give you my favorite. Let's get into it. Number one, Kirk Cousins over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Going against the Patriots, who do have, a pretty good secondary. Just wrapped up just a total domination of Zach Wilson. Granted, Zach Wilson's terrible. I think that this is priced a little bit lower than it should be because of how good the Patriots were last week against Zach Wilson and also how bad the Vikings were last week against the Cowboys. The reality will probably be somewhere in the middle of those two outcomes, which makes this Kirk Cousins one a really good line. And the plus 100 odds on PointsBet is the most important thing of why this is such a good value. The no vig odds that OddsJam calculates prices this to be at about minus 104, right? If we want to round up from minus 103.75, these numbers, the no vig odds, are pulled from the sharpest sportsbooks in the world. All in all, they give this bet above a 50% chance of hitting. So one cool thing, at least I find it cool, about sports betting is all odds, right? Plus 100, minus 103.75, whatever. They all have a win percentage associated with them. So whenever a sports book is pricing odds, all they're doing is saying, "Hey, we think that this bet has X amount of chance of hitting, X amount chance of hitting. So we're going to price it at these odds." So using OddsJam, you can actually back out what the implied win percentage is of a bet based on the odds. So in this case, the minus 103.75, the no vig odds, if you click this calculator under win percentage, this number is pulled from the no vig odds. And then if you want to look at in general win percentages, you just go to calculators, odds converter, and you type in the odds here. Now I know that plus 100 equals a 50% win percentage, but like if you're betting plus 120 or minus 120, whatever, the numbers come up here. So in this case, the plus 100 is a 50% win percentage. The no vig odds of minus 103.75 are a 50.92, basically 51% win percentage. So guess what? If we bet 1,000 bets at plus 100 odds and we win exactly half of those bets, we will have broken even. Won't have won money, won't have lost money. Any number in which we win above 50%, then we are making money. And guess what? The sharpest sportsbooks, the smartest sportsbooks in the world that OddsJam has back tested and calculated, think that this bet is going to hit over 50% of the time, which means that it's a profitable bet. One thing that I really like to do, and another reason why I like this, is if you just click open a play from the positive EV page, it pulls up where every sportsbook prices odds for this play. So plus 100 at PointsBet. And let's look where other sportsbooks price it, right? So 50-50, plus 100. Caesars has the over as the more likely scenario. They price the over at minus 127. They price the under at minus 108, favoring the over. Bet365 has it at 50-50, whatever. DraftKings, very sharp sportsbook specifically with player props. Minus 120, the under at minus 110, favoring the over. Tipico and BetRivers favor the under. They're not super sharp sports books, so don't care a ton about them. And then we get to the most important ones. DraftKings is one of the most important ones. And then we have BetOnline, very sharp sports book, favors the over. Minus 116, the under at minus 111, favoring the over. Pinnacle, same thing. The over at minus 122, the under at minus 108, favoring the over. So these no vig odds of minus 104 come from the sharpest sports books in the world that favor this going over. And the odds we are getting it at plus 100 means we only need to win 50-50 to be or we need to win above 50-50 to be profitable. So this is a really good one. I like this one a lot. Kirk Cousins over, excuse me, 1.5 passing touchdowns on Thanksgiving. Recommend locking this one in. The next one that we're going to lock in here. How about Dalton Schultz going over 35.5 receiving yards? So this bet is at minus 110 odds at Bet365. The Novig odds that OddsJam calculates prices this to be at about minus 114, minus 114.23, giving us a win percentage of above 53%, 53.32. And if you look at the implied odds of minus 110, it's only 52.38. So again, because the Novig odds, the OddsJam perfect line, the sharpest lines in the world, gives us above a 53.32% chance of hitting, this is a profitable venture. So minus 110 odds, which is what you see a ton, right? If you're just looking at main lines across all of the sports books, you see minus 110 a lot. It's the most common odds you'll see. What that means is standard odds, minus 110, you have to win 52.38% of the time to be profitable. Any number above this, you are making money. That's kind of how the minus 110 works. So this one I really like. Both of these plays I think are worth half unit plays. So $50 for me on Kirk Cousins over 1.5 passing touchdowns, $50 on Dalton Schultz over 35.5 receiving yards. And again, let's look at the sharp books that price this. Pinnacle, minus 143. Bet Online, minus 145. DraftKings, minus 120. PointsBet, minus 125. Caesars, minus 127. And then we have some like 50-50, like BetMGM. They're just charging a little bit more juice. But all in all, this is a really good play. BetMGM, minus 110 odds on Dalton Schultz over 35.5 player receiving yards. My second play for Thanksgiving. And the last one that I wanted to lock in here is Justin Jefferson over 6.5 receptions. Same logic for backing Kirk. Makes sense to back Justin Jefferson. Yeah, he had a bad week last week. Guess what? He was incredible the week before. He's an incredible player. You don't fade incredible players just because of one bad game. He's always open. That's how he plays. And the plus 120 odds on PointsBet is what this bet is at. Novig line at about plus 116.5. We can round up to plus 117. So all in all, the win percentage for this one is only 46.18%. But, and this part's very, very important, we only need to win, if we type in plus 120 odds, which you already did, we only need to win 45.45% of the time in order to be profitable. So I get a lot of questions about why is it worth betting on plays that are plus money, because and the exact question is, aren't those plays going to lose more often? And the answer is yes. Those plays will lose more often than not by the inherent odds that we are betting them at. But if your goal for sports betting is to maximize your win percentage, then you should just bet plus 300, you should just bet minus 300, minus 400, minus 500. Because yeah, you'll win a high percentage of your bets. Will you make money? Probably not, because you'll need to win an even higher percent of your bets in order to be profitable. Like if we're betting at minus 400, you need to win 80% of your bets to make money. 80%, above 80% actually. If you win 80%, you are only breaking even. That is very, very difficult. Even the best cappers in the world, the cappers maybe win 60% of the time. So if you're betting on plus money plays, plus 120, guess what? You don't need to win that high of a percent. You only need to win above 45.45% of the time. So yeah, one individual bet, the more likely scenario is that one individual bet loses. But if you place 10, 15, 20, 25, 100, 150 bets at plus money, and you only win 46% of the time, guess what? You're making money. And really what it comes down to when you're sports betting is making money. So I do want people to kind of get away from this thought process of you should just avoid every bet that is for plus money. There should still be bet. Just need to look, you need to do the research yourself to make sure that they're actually good. In this case, this plus 120 at PointsBet for Justin Jefferson is good. Pinnacle, plus 102. Bet Online, plus 100. DraftKings, plus 105. The only book that's close to PointsBet is FanDuel at plus 114. But you look at the sharp books, DraftKings, Bet Online, Pinnacle, they all have this for roughly plus 102, plus 100, plus 105. Lower than the plus 120 that PointsBet is giving you. So another play that I think is worth putting a half unit on, which is $50 for me. So here we have it, my 3 player props to lock in for Thanksgiving football. 3 games, 3 player props. Granted, one of the games I don't have a player prop for, but I still have 3 for you, 2 in the Patriots versus Vikings game. And that's going to be it. So if you're tailing these, or if you have any questions, please comment on the video with your feedback. I love hearing from people, positive or negative. I just like hearing from people. If you want to fade these, that's fine. Just comment on the video and let me know. Other than that, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel, all that good stuff. And that's all I got. So appreciate you guys watching, and have a good one.